Greetings. How's everybody doing?
Great. Doing fine.
Anybody mind we start 3 minutes early? Of course not. My name is Jim Barber. Welcome. Is it possible the season is already upon us? I mean, I think the common phrase I heard when I came here was, it can't be. What a good-looking season we got ahead of us. And as you know, this is the only Division I conference in the country that has the entire All-League first team back for the season. There's a lot of promise. Should be a lot of excitement. If you know anything about the Horizon League, as we've all seen over the years, strange and unusual and exciting things tend to happen. We'll probably have that this season. Plus the fact, great national exposure. ESPN networks for at least 39 games this season, which is a very remarkable number. So it's nice to have all you with us, players, coaches, fans, friends, sports information directors, and people in the Horizon League. With that in mind, the defending regular season champion is Valparaiso, you know that. And the Crusaders have been voted the 2012 preseason favorite for this year. Led by Player of the Year Ryan Brokoff and Kevin Van Vyk. I'm sure you're quite familiar with those two guys. Crusaders get 40 of 44 first place votes to earn the top position. Detroit, which beat Valparaiso in the league championship game last year in an exciting game on ESPN, received the other 4 first place votes. And will finish now second in the poll. The Titans are led by Ray McCallum, back for his third season, who was the 2012 tournament MVP. Just talked to Brian Wardle. Congratulations to him. He became a dad over the summer with is it a little boy, is that right? Nicely done, Wardle family. Green Bay earned the best finish in the poll since 2007. Kiefer Sykes at the point, and of course the big guy Alec Brown in the post. The Phoenix will spread the court for shooters Brendan Kugel and Cam Cerrone. Both can shoot the three pretty nicely. And Cerrone's 65.5% true shooting percentage last year was 8th best, not in the Horizon League, but 8th best in the country. Youngstown State, highest pick ever for YSU to start the year in the Horizon League, picked 4th. Never had been picked higher than 7th, now 4th. The guys that are back, names are familiar to you. Kendrick Perry, he runs the point. Damian Ergel is down low. And Blake Allen, a great three-point shooter from the outside, who last year was shooting almost 43% from the arc. That was one of the better percentages in the country. After finishing in a tie for first in 2011 and second in 2012 in the league, Cleveland State brings a younger look to the court this season. They tell me the coach is energized. And when he's energized, that's always a good season. The Vikings expected to rely heavily on Mr. Grady. He showed flashes in his freshman year, as you know. Tim Kamchek is back for, his 9th season? Is that right, Coach? He's been around a while, hasn't he? He'll shoulder some of the leadership responsibilities. He, by the way, is the lone senior on the team. And despite the fact that Kamchek was a low possession guy at times, he was the best shooter in the nation last year, ranking 5th with a 67.5% true shooting percentage. Milwaukee turns to Jordan Aaron, replaces Kalen Williams, who ran the point, surrounding him with veterans. You're familiar with these names, James Harmsma and Paris Gully. Harmsma averaged 10.5 last year, led the team with 5.5 rebounds. Gully was up to 8.5 points, and he became the Panthers' best three-point shooter at nearly 40%. Now, a year after going 1-17, Loyola was voted 7th in the preseason poll. Optimism surrounds the Panthers after a 3-1 trip to Italy this summer. You get a chance, go on their website, take a look at some of the pictures. They really are neat. Got a chance to visit Florence, among other places. They allowed the team to do some early practices, as you know, when you get a chance to go overseas once every 4 years. Cully Payne, who was an all Big Ten freshman point guard at Iowa in the Big Ten in 2010, is eligible and provides stability at the point, something that got away from Porter Moser in his first season. UIC is adding 7 different players this year. 2 of those additions come with significant experience. Joey Miller, maybe familiar with that name, from the Ohio Valley Conference, freshman of the week on 3 occasions, now headed to UIC, while Josh Krimmel started 25 games for Central Florida, deciding to spend his senior year with the Flames. And these 2 guys provide a pretty good nucleus of point guard Gary Talton and, of course, Hayden Humes, each of whom earned all-league votes. Wright State is the 6th youngest team in the country. Head coach Billy Donlin promises to play more up-tempo behind Reggie Arsenault, who is with us here in the Chicagoland area. Raiders have been picked 9th, but once again rely on their defense. ranked 4th in the country at defensive turnover rate, turning opponents over 25.5% of the time. And Wright State has not been outside the top 20 in the category in each of those last 4 seasons. Now, regular season starts November 9th. That's a Friday. 6 teams in action. Valpo and Detroit will both be featured on ESPN's 24 Hours of Hoops Marathon on Tuesday, November 13th. Turns out that Detroit gets the early afternoon game, and Detroit gets the early afternoon game, and Valparaiso gets the middle of the night game. Actually, the Crusaders are up at, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central, which should be fun. The 2013 League Championship is slated for March 5th, 8th, and 12th, 8th through 9th and 12th as well. Number 1 and 2 seeds will earn a bye in the semifinals, which we've seen every year, with the number 3 seed receiving a bye into the second round. The regular season champion will host the second round of semifinals, with the highest remaining seed hosting the championship game live on ESPN or ESPN2 at 9 o'clock as part of Championship Week. 39 games associated with the ESPN networks, 9 teams this season, 16-game regular season. Tournament play starts in March, regular season starts in January, and all the games begin in November. Great to have you with us today because it is a great kickoff. Wonderful lunch, by the way, thanks to the Rising League, and wonderful to have you as part of all of it. He's in his 21st season. He's a man who makes some bold moves. You know him quite well, the Rising League Commissioner, John LaCrone.
Thanks, Jim. Welcome, everybody. This has been kind of a unique and fun event from my perspective. Just a quick story on it. I would say maybe 6 months ago, our communication staff, led by Bill Benner, and also when I introduced Billy Potter, where's Billy and Craig? They're probably working. They introduced this idea that perhaps it was time in the history of our league to have a centralized media day. You know, before that time, I've been here in my 21st year now, as Jim said. We'd had some centralized media day, and really they had been pretty successful, and we decided to move our media activities back to our campuses. So this time, for the first time in a while, we decided to have a media activity central location, wanted to come to a great place, and I think we're at a really nice property, really good to be in Chicago, one of our hub cities. We had our women's teams here yesterday, I should say our coaches and players. So I think it's gone pretty well. So I'm pleased that we've been able to do it. And with that comes some thanks. Once again, our staff, they've done a great job. I really can't say enough about our sports information directors and all of the work that you do. So thank you for all of that. Then I just want to say a word or two about our coaches and our players and tick off a couple of things that have gone on in the league over the last couple of months. I mean, our league's built on coaches and players. You know, as good as our staff is, that's not the league. Our league is built on great coaches and great players. So, guys, I'm really glad that you are here. I know we're asking a lot of you, and sometimes you have to take some time off class to be here. So, thank you for being here. No one enjoys more than I do watching you do what you do. And when you combine that with what you do in the classroom and in your communities, it makes me proud to know all of you. So I'm really looking forward to watching you play. And to our coaches, you know, it's just incredible the quality of our coaches in this league. And I say that not only about them as coaches, but as men. I mean, they are extraordinary leaders and great examples of what we talk about when we talk about our values and our commitments to other things except just winning and losing. So I am really proud to know them and to work with them, and it makes me feel so comfortable that we're doing the right thing. So to the coaches, I really appreciate what you do and really looking forward to the season. With that said, I really am energized about our year this year. I think we're going to have, as Jim said, a number of outstanding teams. I think the competition is going to be very, very intense, and I'm looking forward to that. For those of you who don't know, just a couple of facts I wanted to share with you. Really energized and enthusiastic about our digital platform. As all of you know, the Horizon League Network. This is a year when we go to high def. So we've made another investment in the digital platform, and then across all of our schools for both men and women, we will now for the first time have instant replay capability. So we think that's a nice step in the right direction. Also, and many of you probably know this, we do have a one-year extension exercised by ESPN this year, and so we will be on the ESPN family not only this year and next year, and then sometime in about a 12-month window, that negotiation will open up. But I can't say enough about that partnership. Again, I've been here now in my 21st year, and we've been with ESPN for that amount of time, and they have been extraordinary partners for us. So what I'd like to do, also have to thank our friends in the media. I think we get incredible coverage, I really do, and I've always found our media, although I've disagreed with them at times, I think they're extraordinarily fair, and I think we've always had a good relationship with our media across the league. So I want to pause now and see if any of our media members have any questions. I'd be happy to answer anything at all. It's been an incredibly busy summer, as you can imagine, when you have to kind of stop in the middle of things and redo lots of things, starting with our basketball schedule. So anything you would like to ask about this year or our activities over the summer, I'd be happy to try to take on.
What you just said, the scheduling, how difficult was it with an odd number of teams? And you guys had such a nice, Thursday, Saturday. Fans knew when the games were going to be, that the opponents were the same each weekend every year. How difficult was that, and how concerned are you about random Tuesday games and Wednesday games?
Yeah, it was really hard. I can't say that it wasn't difficult. What was kind of amazing to me is that we were able to literally start our scheduling process all over on about June the 14th and actually get it finalized a couple of weeks sooner than we did last year. But it's complicated by a number of factors. Certainly the number 9 is not easy. Bracket Buster complicates it, although that event is really important to us. When we play our tournament complicates it. The fact that we have variables in our buildings, in other words, everybody doesn't control all the building dates in our league, and that makes it extraordinarily difficult. When we sat with our coaches this summer, they really wanted to get out of December. And we tried to honor that. Playing games in December actually helped us spread out some of the scheduling. So those are the things we were trying to accomplish in a very short period of time. And then once we had the schedule set, you have to take it to ESPN and they start selecting the TV games, and then your schedule starts to change again. So it was extraordinarily difficult, but the level of cooperation we got from our coaches and our director of athletics and the work our staff put into it, it does prove to you that you can take on the difficult and accomplish something. So it's not perfect, but at the same time, I was really impressed with the cooperation that we got from a lot of people in this room.
How much say did the coaches have in that?
I think they have a lot. And we do the scheduling primarily with our staff, but we're reaching out to a lot of different people, the ADs. All of our coaches have people on their staffs who have specific scheduling responsibilities. So it's a lot of people. We're having to talk sometimes with building managers. So it is a complicated process and lots of moving parts.
You talk about the Verizon League is built for at large. You touch on the non-conference scheduling of these basketball teams, and are they in the right place to get to that?
Yeah, I think that in some places we are, in some places we aren't. The eye of the selection needle is very, very small. And you have extraordinary opportunities, in my opinion, to build a resume through your non-conference scheduling. And it's not formulaic. It is art. It's not science. So, again, it's very difficult. And I encourage our coaches to be as creative and thoughtful, but don't schedule yourself out of the tournament. Schedule yourself into the tournament, and then, of course, you do have to win. And my own thinking process about it with regard to non-conference scheduling, I kind of used to be a deregulation guy. In other words, do whatever you want. And then more recently, I've been more towards regulation. By golly, we're going to pass rules, and you're going to have to schedule your non-conference games in a way that help the league. And I think right now I'm more in the middle of balance. We need a little regulation. We need some creativity on their part because after a 5-year stint on the basketball committee, you cannot formulaically, if you will, get yourself into the tournament. You have to have a little luck. You have to play well. And then also your selection is really a bit incumbent to some extent on what others do, which you have no control over.
Is there an opportunity to partner with another mid-major conference and have a sort of challenge or something along those lines?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One of the things that I'm talking about a lot as we chart our course for the future, and I think this year is extraordinarily important to that, beginning to talk about 3 things and had a nice session with the coaches about it. I'm talking about an internal growth agenda where we continue to be committed to getting better, the 9 of us. And then secondly is this notion of collaboration. And then thirdly is this idea of consideration of expansion. That doesn't mean we'll expand. That doesn't mean we need to go to 10 or 11 or 12 or any other number. It means we need to think about it. But I think all those things working together really help position us in what I call this new world order, which really is dominated by football television, and the postseason of football, which really has driven realignment. I don't know if many of you are aware of this, but 26 of, I think, the 31 or 32 Division I leagues, kind of depends on how you count the East Coast, the ECAC. 26 of those leagues in the last 24 months have had membership movement. So it's a fluid environment out there nationally and one of consolidation, and collaboration plays a part of that. So I'm really interested in working with some of our league colleagues in both competitive, a challenge series, scheduling, and non-competitive ways that will help us in the future. Yeah.
Speaking of conference expansion, just like you said, it's been prevalent over the last couple of years. What is your opinion on that, and do you see the Horizon League expanding anytime in the future?
Well, we have to think about it, but the interesting thing is, again, I keep talking about me being here 20 years, which just means only that I'm getting old. I can't remember a meeting, honestly, where membership was not on our agenda. It's just kind of a normal flow of the business right now. And I think it's just been more, it's happened more frequently now. Again, all driven by postseason football and football television as that trickles down and schools try to align themselves for access and for some of the financial rewards. So that just happens to trickle down, throughout the industry, and we've experienced some of that. But it's not like we haven't in the past. Again, in my tenure here, we've had a number of changes in membership. The real interesting thing to me is every time we've had membership changes, it's been followed by a real period of growth. And that's why I'm really excited when we talk about these notions of internal growth agenda, collaboration, consideration of expansion. I think those are the tools that we need to use to be really successful in this new world order. So go ahead, Tony.
John, I was just going to ask, the opposite of that is how concerned are you that there might be more seeking members from your league?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about that at all, Tony. I think it would be a little naive if we didn't think there were going to be more general membership moves. That's just kind of the way the business is right now. So I don't worry about it or wring my hands about it. I know this, our 9 schools are really compatible. If you look at our basketball compatibility, just that sport, if you look at our sports sponsorship fit, if you look at our financial fit, and, I kind of reside in the room of presidents, if you will, most often. And, they certainly are thinking about an appropriate public-private balance in the league, which I think is a real strength. And then there's some academic metrics. So those are all the aspects of our league that really hold us together.
I realize that Butler's not the only team that's had success in this league the last few years. But for better or worse, that's been the standard bearer on the national stage, given what they've done with the 2 Final Fours. How concerned are you about there has to be someone taking that mantle now, or multiple teams, to keep you guys in the national spotlight in some way?
Yeah, it's really energizing. I would use the word concern because to a person, I don't think there's a coach in this room that doesn't think they could be the next national type of program. So in a sense, we've provided a platform for teams to have extraordinary success on the national stage. And I can literally mention almost every program in the room right now because they've all had some measures of national success. So I think the energy in the room is incredible, and that our coaches see it as an opportunity. We certainly see it from a league staff perspective as an incredible opportunity to help develop not just one built for at-large program, but 2 or 3 or 4, or however many we believe we could develop, and that's kind of our goal as we move forward.
Does it have to happen quickly, though?
Well, I don't think anything happens overnight. If we really consider kind of the evolution of programs in our league, they do take time. So I don't know if that's... I just know this. We have a number of programs in the room that are very, very close to breaking through on that in that national arena.
Anything else for the commissioner? John?
Thanks, everybody. Oh, I still have something else, right? So this is the unveiling of our basketball championship tournament logo. Bill, help me, designed by
Sport Graphics
out of Indianapolis. So thanks everybody for coming, and look forward to seeing you throughout the season. Thank you.